The other day, I'm in a meeting on Zoom, and someone says the quote to me. They're like, "Oh yeah, the fruit is in the pudding," and I was like, "Wait, what's the analogy you just used?" They said the fruit is in the pudding. You've never heard that? And I was like, "Man, I've never heard that before." And so I Google it, and Google says, the phrase you're looking for is the proof is in the pudding, where it's pretty much saying like results are what matter, right? Or like the outcome is what matters. That's what that was saying. And so I just found it funny, and I was going to correct him, and then I was like, wait a second. The fruit is in the pudding could be its own piece of advice. Now, what does this mean? So I was on the call was a Boy Scout related call. And one thing we make in Boy Scouts a lot is cobbler. And if you know anything about making cobbler, it requires a few hours of patience, a lot of hot coals, and cake mix and fruit. And so you have to, and butter. So what you got to do is you got to, take the Dutch oven, you got to put the liner in, you got to coat the liner with some butter, you got to put in the cake mix, and you got to put in the fruit, and you got to put in cake mix, and you got to put in the fruit, and then you put in some butter on top, and then you put the coals in there, and it kind of comes out to this like very like crusted cakey on the outside, and then this like light soft inside, right? But you can't have one without the other. So if you try and just put some hot coals on some cake mix in a pan with some butter, it's just gonna get burnt. You're just gonna get burnt cake mix. So here in this case, the fruit is in the cobbler, right? And it's actually not even the cobbler consistency is like kind of like I said, it's like a crust on the outside and a little soft, almost like a pudding on the inside. Thought I was about to sneeze, but I wasn't. So I want you guys to kind of take life experiences as this as well, right? Like if you have just cake mix, you're gonna get burnt out. If you are going through the motions just to go through the motions, you're gonna get burnt out. The fruit comes from you putting the meaning behind it. If I'm just going to work out, right? I'm just going through the motions. I'm like, oh, I'm just working out. But the meaning of the working out is like, I'm improving myself physically and mentally. I'm improving every aspect of fitness. I'm improving my diet. I'm improving my sleep and my lifestyle. I'm focusing overall on my health to get it better. That's the fruit right there. That way, there is some type of, deeper meaning behind, oh, I'm just doing this to do it, right? The example for camp for Boy Scout stuff would probably be like camps, right? Or like that's what turns, a rainy, miserable camp out into one hell of a memory. That is what is in this process of me creating YouTube videos for you guys to watch, and me having deeper meanings behind the videos instead of there's just like, I'm not here teaching you how to squat or how to cook a steak, right? I'm not here to say like, you should work out because of this and that. I want to go a little bit deeper on purpose. So now the actions are not just a means to an end. The actions actually have some type of deeper meaning behind them. So you got to ask yourself, what is it that you do on a continuous day-to-day basis? Like, what is your, cake mix? Like, what is your pudding? And what kind of fruit do you want to put in there? What kind of meaning do you want to have behind your actions, right? Are you working just to work? Or are you working to give yourself a better quality of life, to give your family a better quality of life? And if you can answer those questions, and they're going to be different for everybody, everyone's meaning is different. The meaning of life is different for everybody as well, Just make sure that you're not doing the activity or the action just to do the action. You want to make sure that you're doing it for a purpose and that you're fulfilling a deeper meaning behind it. And next time you're doing anything, next time you're at the gym, next time you're making a cold call, next time you're, I don't know, you're at a camp out, if camping is something that you guys do, you always want to remember that the fruit is in the pudding. All right, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.